why don't we take that and record that? And I'm thinking, wow, let's go to Hollywood. Let's record. Let's go where the Mecca is, right? Or Nashville, right? We want to go where recording's done. He said, oh, hold on, Deputy Dog. Anybody have any money in here? And I look at the other three guys, and they go, well, no. I go, well, I've got some. What do you think it'll cost? Oh, about $100, $150 for the recording session. Now, this is 1960. Right now, we're up to 1962, December of 62, okay? So we're sitting there, and we drive out to a little place called Cucamonga, California. Does that sound like a recording mecca of the world? It was a ghost town then, okay? And so we walked up to this store, and I knock on the door, and the door opens. It's a dark, dank, old Carl's shoe store. And this guy who was a Marine came out of the Army, built his own recording studio in there. Not like today where you can go to Guitar Center and buy a recording studio, right, Eric? You can get everything you want, computer, tape machine. You walk in a music store in 1960, what was there? Instruments. You know, horns and a few guitars and you know, an amp if they had one. And so we're walking in, and here's this guy who's already built the studio. It's a 3-track with monaural output, no stereo. So you, at the end of it, you got a 1/4-inch tape with a monaural track as your master when you walk out. So we said, okay. So we record Surfer Joe, and then our manager gets on the talkback button. If you've been in the studio, there's a button in there. And the top manager goes, boys, we're only 15 years old at this point, right? 15. 3 guys 15 and an old guy, which was our drummer, he was 17. Okay. We're sitting out there, and he goes to us, boys, a 45 has 2 sides to it. Oh, really? We didn't know. We knew that. Anyway, we knew what 45 was. It had record on one side, you flip it over, play the other side, right? Yeah, you did that in your childhood. Okay, so anyway, he said, you guys paid for another side. What do you want to do? Oh, I think I'll, well, we could just record Surfer Joe and put it on the back side so it had 2 sides of the same song, or a novel idea, why don't you guys write another song? We said, what? He said, well, hit it. So told Ronnie, hit it. He starts playing this drum solo that's been heard around the world since 1963, okay? It's called Wipeout, right? And he's out there playing that solo, and I said, well, we better put some chords to it, we better put a melody to it, or it'll be a drum solo. And so we started playing along, and after we started playing along, Ronnie hits the drums. The bass player, who it's the first night he's ever played a bass guitar, he plays 2-finger chords. That's all he knows how to do on the guitar. And when he picks up, he brought a bass that he borrowed from his cousin. He starts going, hey, that's good. Now what do we do? He needs more than that, right? Is that going to be a hit record? Probably not, for sure. Sure not. So I said, let's play it in the key of B, since we play everything in A and everything in E. Let's try something different. So I said, let's do that. And then I said, okay, let's do this. Hit the drums, and then, how about this? Drum solo. That's cool? Yeah. Okay, boys, thanks a lot. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. We played it 3 times, totally. And 3 weeks later, we get a 45. Now, we're talking December of 62. This is somewhere in January of 63. I get the 45. Our manager says, what do you want to do with it? Oh, I want to sell them to high school and make money to buy guitars. That's what the other 2 guys said. Third guy was just, you know, Ronnie. He was crazy. He did anything he wanted. And I said, no, I want it on the radio because I want to hear the song on the radio. I don't want to just play it for my friends. What good does that do, right? And so I gave it to the manager, and he took it off, and went around, heck, he got it in San Bernardino. And he got it like at 4 o'clock in the morning, somewhere in the middle of January on a Sunday night. It plays it, right? Plays it. And if he plays it, and by 10 o'clock the next morning, it's the most requested song of the day. Not bad. So the next time he gets a hold of a couple of guys that were musicians that also were record distributors, and they take it to Fresno, and they put it on their radio station at the same time, 4 o'clock Sunday morning. By the next day, it's #1 on the request list. That's pretty good. That means the song kind of hits people's fancy. They kind of like it, right? And so that's cool. And then Dot Records gets approached by it, by the guys who have the record, the two guys that are publishers, and they said, you know, it's a good song, let's release it. So in about February of '63, they release it, and by April of '63, it's #1 in Los Angeles. That's pretty good, wouldn't you say? 30 days later. And then by June of '63, it's #2 in the United States. And then by November of '63, it's #1 in the world. And I'm only 16 years old. So suddenly, I'm at the Hollywood Bowl, and I'm playing a concert with the Beach Boys and everybody else who was anybody at the day, right? And I'm going, hey, this is a pretty cool way to make money. We can have fun doing this, can't we? So we started doing that, and we toured Australia and Japan and went all around the world playing music. So by the time I was 18, I come back to
high school.
High school, yeah. Actually, I had my final, I had my midterm of my senior year. I had to take when I came back from a tour from Australia. So I had to study. I brought my box of books with me, like that. I brought some books with me, and I said, you know what? I'm going to study. Get ready for those tests, right? And I did. I mean, I actually took them out and looked at them, and everybody was going, stupid guy, you know, why finish high school when you got a $1 million record? I went, I don't know, I might need education someday. So I went ahead and finished high school, and the drummer had graduated finally, and the other two guys had quit when they were like 16 or so, because, hey, you got a $1 million record, you got no problems, right?
Yeah, you're on top of the world.
You're on top of the world. Doesn't work out that way. But anyway, so we ended up traveling the world, and then 5 lawyers had to come into our lives. Why do you think you would need that in the record business?
Copyright?
Copyright law was being violated. They were stealing our stuff and not giving us anything for it. So we had to take 5 lawyers and go to court, and spent 3 years going in and out of court. So we finally got a settlement. So we got 50% of our publisher, and we got our record label to pay us and all of that kind of stuff. So we finally got it. But I've had that same lawyer up until last year when he finally died, but I had the same lawyer as my trust account person for the last 40-some years, and he's had to fight somebody every year for trying to take the stuff. And so he takes his gravy off the top, and then he gives you what's left. So it's the idea where it's been great, but the idea is you have to fight your way along. It's not a free ride. In fact, I've got a suit going that's going to start next year for 3 guys that have been traveling around touring at the safaris, and probably not a good thing since I'm here and they're there, you know, kind of this broad thing. So the record business has been great to me, just personally, because I've been able to bring now, I have my 2 sons in my band, and my wife is my bass player. Not bad, you know. And my 2 sons, my other drummer and another guitar player. So we go on tour. In fact, we're going to Hawaii in 1st of January, and we got some concerts to do over there, so it'll be kind of fun. So we keep going because family is what's most important. The other 2 guys, other guy just went through cancer surgery, other guy's got another problem. One of the guys died of cirrhosis of the liver, another guy had a brain hemorrhage and he died, so there's only 3 of us still left after 47 years. But I just talked to him the other day, he's doing fine, he's going through chemo, getting rid of his cancer, right? He's got prostate cancer or something. But, you know, time goes by, it just happens that way. But anyway, just wanted to show you that there's life outside of Fullerton College, and you don't have to just be a mechanic, right? Because it's good to have money because you can buy race cars, which I did, and did drag racing and things like that. But anyway, just want to let you know that there's things going on that you can do too. You don't have to just be a single-phase person. Okay?